You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Friday. Brady has the afternoon off, and he picked the right day to take because it is a very nice afternoon out there. Double nickels, 55 degrees. How about that? We've got the chief doing the weather today. Hi, Alex.
Hey there. With the temperatures in the 50s, you would not be thinking this time tomorrow we're going to have snow moving into southern Wisconsin. But we have been saying the past couple of days we're going to have the tale of two seasons. Spring on Friday, winter on Saturday. Snow is building into southern Wisconsin as early as 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. In the southwest part of the state, we move and march forward towards noon, becoming more widespread. That peak of that snow is going to be between noon and probably 6 p.m. before it moves off towards the south and towards the east. So about 12 hours worth of snow. Areas to the north and west of the Dells, you stand the chance of seeing alert day criteria, meaning 3 or 4 inches of snow Saturday morning going through Saturday afternoon. The rest of southern Wisconsin, we've been saying a general 1 to 3 inches of snow. But take note, Platteville, Monroe, Janesville, a very sharp cutoff on the southern end of this band of snow. We'll be keeping a close eye on that sharp cutoff. Very similar to the last storm. Just a county difference could make a big difference in snowfall totals as we go Saturday into Sunday. Here's the good stuff right now, although the snow is good stuff too. We need the water. 50s across southern Wisconsin, even a 57 and a 58 in Stoughton. I was looking to see some of the higher numbers. And if you barely look above the News 3 Now bug in the bottom of the screen, there's a 61 in Edgerton. How about that? But when I come back in just a little bit, we're going to talk more about that snow. If you missed me tracking that snow using Future Track, we will go through that again. And then we also need to talk about, first to let you know, a big, warm and wet weather pattern that's going to take shape next week and lasting perhaps even into the middle of March. More on that in a little bit. Susan.
Boy, buckle up. All right, Alex, thank you. First at 4, we have an update to a story that we first brought you yesterday on Live at 4. Madison police confirm that an 8-year-old student who was on their way to school was hit by a car near Orchard Ridge Elementary School. Crews were called to Toki Middle School and Orchard Ridge Elementary around 8:30 yesterday morning. The child was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The driver stayed on the scene and they were not immediately ticketed. They're cooperating with the investigation. Earlier this week, News 3 Now reported on an instance involving a Madison school district employee allegedly serving an autistic student a can of dog food. A local lawmaker held a press conference today regarding this incident, and our Maya Tate was there. She joins us now with more on the story. Maya?
Susan, after Representative Sheila Stubbs heard about Jaden Hawks, a nonverbal autistic freshman at East High School being given dog food, she called his mom, Deborah, to learn more. In a press conference held by Stubbs on this topic, she gave the audience a play-by-play of how she felt during that conversation. She then invited Hawks to speak about the incident. Hawks stated that she wasn't told about the dog food until 4 days after it occurred, and that ever since, the Hawks family's trust hasn't been the same.
My son he's been really hard. His heart has been, you could tell he doesn't trust people like he used to.
When we trust and we know that trust is broken, it is one of the greatest betrayals that a parent can experience.
Afterwards, Stubbs called upon representatives from local organizations like the Dane County NAACP, the Autism Society of Wisconsin, and Creating a Village to speak about the importance of taking events like these seriously. I reached out to MMSD for a comment regarding the press conference. In their response, they said, the Madison Metropolitan School District takes student safety and well-being seriously. They continued saying staff procedures and protocols are being reviewed, and additional training regarding snack protocol will be provided to staff to ensure this does not happen again. The district went on to say that the teacher involved has been placed on leave and that due to privacy laws, they cannot provide any more information on this situation.
Maya, thank you. We'll continue to follow it. For the 4th year, Madison residents are being invited to an evening of storytelling focused on mental health and substance abuse recovery. Chrysalis, a nonprofit that has served Dane County for 45 years, is hosting its 4th annual Shared Threads fundraiser. It's happening Tuesday, March 3rd at the Goodman Community Center. Storytellers have been working with 2 teachers to craft their narratives, And this year's event brings together 10 storytellers sharing personal stories tied to the theme of home.
Home isn't just where you're from, it's also where you feel it. And I think you're gonna get a lot of true feelings of what home really means to someone. It's not just a dwelling, because there are people without that dwelling and they still have home.
The Shared Threads event is free. It's open to the public, though donations are encouraged to support Chrysalis's work. The doors open at 4:30 at the Brassworks building at the Goodman Community Center. And again, that's this Tuesday. A research group at UW-Madison is changing the way one of the world's most popular sports is played. Artificial intelligence and computer programming allows a robotics team to compete on an international level in soccer. It's amazing. Our Nash Dara is here with the story. Nash?
That's right, Susan. These soccer-playing robots serve as a test bed for research in artificial intelligence, participating in competitions across the globe. The lab at Morgridge Hall is focused on software computer science. The already made robots are programmed by a team that Assistant Professor Josiah Hanna says puts in a tremendous effort to make things work. The systems follow an AI algorithm that specializes in reinforcement learning, allowing the robots to acquire skills by doing similar actions over and over again.
Our main focus is that we don't want the robots to just play soccer, but we want them to learn how to play soccer. And each robot can only perceive what is coming into its cameras, and it's got to figure out what are the right actions that it should take to achieve a goal. In this case, getting a ball into a net. You really have to build a complete system, putting it into a situation where there's an adversary who wants to do better than you are. So it really kind of stresses building that kind of complete, robust system.
Since Hanna has been at Wisconsin, he has traveled all over the world with his RoboCup team, competing in the Netherlands, France, and just last summer in Brazil. The team has a track record of being one of the best in competition, coming in third last year during the Standard Platform League Championship. This upcoming summer, the UW RoboCup team will travel all the way to South Korea, where they look to continue to grow in robotic soccer. Susan, I will have more on this story tonight at 6.
Fascinating. It's a brave new world. We'll see you at 6, Nash. Thank you. Americans are feeling subscription sticker shock, paying nearly 20% more than we did in 2020 for TV, music, news, and other digital apps. Consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn is breaking down a new analysis from Deposit Accounts, which is a lending tree company.
On average, subscribers now pay for about 4.5 services, roughly $84 a month, more than $1,000 a year. Streaming now accounts for nearly half of all TV viewing, many Americans paying more to stay connected. Those familiar with raising your price by $1 or $2 emails are adding up, and researchers tracked prices on 15 popular services, from Hulu and Netflix to Spotify, Zoom Pro, and Xbox Game Pass. A third of Americans say they've canceled at least one paid digital subscription in the last 6 months because of cost. Deposit Accounts tracked prices from 2020 to 2026. Those are on your screen now. Disney Plus ad-free rose over $10 since 2020. Apple TV's standard plan more than doubled. The New York Times All Access and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate are each up about 60%. The very thin silver lining here is that not every bill is higher. Apple's iCloud storage, Apple Music, Dropbox, Zoom Pro, and YouTube Premium are all cheaper than they were in 2020.
Thank you, Michelle Renee. And you can watch Michelle Renee all weekend long, anchoring weekend mornings right here on News 3 Now. A cross-country runner made a stop in Madison today on a journey that spans all 50 states. Noah Coughlin is on his 5th and final run across America, a farewell journey that started in Maine and will end July 4th in Hawaii. He's already covered about 2,500 miles in 133 days. He runs 10 to 40 miles a day. And this is all as a tribute to the American people and to mark America's 250th birthday.
And it's a chance to go across America, meet everybody from school kids to World War II veterans, and just celebrate our very existence as Americans. It's not political in any way. It's been actually really hard through winter. But, with the help of the community, police escorts, everybody, all the way from Maine to here, been battling Mother Nature. Been battling the cold and the snow and the ice, but little by little, one can travel far.
Alex ordered this weather just for you, Noah. Coughlin carries an American flag flown on a U.S. Air Force KC-46 Pegasus in October 2025, which will be folded by the Marine Corps when he finishes his final ocean-to-ocean trek. You can follow his journey at runforusa.com, and we have a link to that on Channel 3000. Next on Live at 4, Josh Spreiter is in the 608 with more on the start of our community baby shower. We'll tell you how you can help local babies get a healthy start. And a sold-out state wrestling tournament has left some parents scrambling for seats. We'll look at what's causing the issue. And then we'll take a look at how a partial federal government shutdown could start to have more effect on air travel. Then soak up the sun and warmth today while you can, because Fool's Spring is about to end as abruptly as it started. The plummeting temperatures tomorrow and how long it will take to climb back up. Alex has the first warn forecast coming up.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
In the 608, we're getting ready to kick off our community baby shower next week. Josh Spreiter shows us how you can help us make a difference for local families.
Babies and Beyond is once again teaming up with News 3 Now for the community baby shower. It starts Monday, and we need your help. The Madison nonprofit helps hundreds of families navigate pregnancy and early parenthood. They're collecting diapers, baby clothes, and other essential supplies to support families across the region. You can donate March 2nd through the 6th and help give local babies a healthy start. For a list of what's needed and drop-off locations, just go to channel3000.com. I'll be out there on Monday for News 3 Now this morning and live at 4 to get the community baby shower off and rolling. We'll hear from organizers about why this is so valuable to local families, so stay tuned. In the 608, I'm Josh Spreiter.
Looking forward to it, Josh. Thank you, and thank you, everybody, for your help. You can find Josh every morning on The Morning Show and also on News 3 Now at noon. Now over to the Weather Center. It feels like spring out there, but winter is not done with us quite yet. Right, Alex?
It is not. This is just a tease, isn't it? With our temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Look at that, 55 at the airport. Sneaking over here to the very just far southeast part of the screen, just above my name there. 61 right now in Edgerton. And then we're going to replace temperatures that are well in the 50s across much of the area to only the mid 20s by tomorrow. And then we get this. Snow building into southern Wisconsin. By the time we get to 6, 7, 8 o'clock, areas in southwest Wisconsin breaking out with snow showers widespread as we head towards noon. Then as we go through the early to mid-afternoon hours, more light snow across southern Wisconsin, ending by the time we get to, let's say, 7 or 8 o'clock. So about a 12-hour period of light snow across southern Wisconsin. Enough snow adding up, especially for areas north and west up towards the Dells, where they have winter weather advisories in effect from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning through 6 p.m. Some areas could pick up 3 to 4 inches of snow as we go into Saturday morning, into Saturday afternoon. That area likely seeing the heaviest amounts, and you see that here with future track snow for Oakwa over towards Richland Center, up towards the Dells, up towards Camp Douglas. That's where we have that 2, 3, 4 inches of snow that just meets the low end threshold for alert day criteria. Perhaps an inch or so here in Madison. But I want to be very clear, south towards Platteville, Monroe, Janesville, a very sharp cutoff, just a county-wide, may make a big difference between no snow to some snow. So, bottom line here, 1 to 3 inches across southern Wisconsin, some isolated 4-inch amounts north and west of the Dells, and that sharp cutoff in that band of snow, especially for areas south towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border. Then we turn our attention here from snow. Now we're going to go back and swing into a spring-like pattern. Look at next week. Highs in the upper 40s to the lower 50s. Good chances for rain almost every day starting Wednesday night, lasting clear into the early part of the following week. We could have some heavy rainfall totals here in southern Wisconsin, and we could use that rain. Believe it or not, we have moderate drought conditions across parts of southwest Wisconsin. Speaking of storms, we have our dark sky severe weather seminar tomorrow. Join me and my other weather colleagues, including the National Weather Service, among others, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow at Madison College. It's free parking, and guess what? Free storm spotter training. We always need certified storm spotters, so there's an opportunity for that tomorrow at Madison College. We'll see you tomorrow morning when it snows.
Yeah, that is a great opportunity, though, to learn some valuable information. So take advantage of it. Alex, thank you. Coming up on Live at 4, Wisconsin has announced a $100 million settlement with Walmart. We'll tell you about the case and how the settlement money will be used. Believe it or not, tax burdens in Wisconsin have fallen over the past few years. We'll look at where the current average is and why your tax bill still feels higher. And then U.S. Embassy staff are being encouraged to leave their posts in the Middle East as tensions reach a boiling point amid a possible strike against Iran. Plus, a local student-run radio station is getting national recognition. We'll tell you how a Madison radio station has been named Best in the Nation.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Another rough day for stocks on Wall Street today. Let's see how the work week ended up. The Dow closed down 521 points. The Nasdaq lost 210 and the S&P 500 shed nearly 30. A high-stakes deadline has passed now for AI company Anthropic. The U.S. Department of Defense gave the company until 4 p.m. today to agree to expand government access to its Claude AI system or risk losing federal contracts. Officials say unrestricted access is critical for national security and warn the technology could be seized under the Defense Production Act. But CEO Dario Amodei says Anthropic will not remove safeguards that limit mass surveillance of Americans or fully autonomous weapons. Within just the last hour, President Trump has ordered all federal agencies to phase out the use of Anthropic technology. President Trump is still debating whether to carry out military strikes on Iran. Peace talks were held in Europe yesterday, and more talks are coming. In the meantime, the military buildup continues, and fears of an attack are leading to the evacuation of some U.S. personnel in the Middle East. Natalie Brand is at the White House with the details.
President Trump on Friday signaled he's not happy with progress on nuclear negotiations as the administration weighs potential strikes against Iran.
We haven't made a final decision. We're not exactly happy with the way they're negotiated. They cannot have nuclear weapons.
Today, Oman's foreign minister, who's been mediating the indirect talks between Iran and the U.S., met with Vice President J.D. Vance and said he shared details of the ongoing negotiations and added peace is within our reach. Iran's foreign minister said they made good progress with additional technical talks scheduled for next week in Vienna.
The costs of failure are now very clear to all sides. Everybody understands that although there is a military option, there is no military solution to this dilemma.
The president, who's ordered the largest military buildup in the region in decades, acknowledged the risk.
You know, when there's war, there's a risk in anything, both good and bad.
The State Department issued an advisory Friday authorizing non-emergency U.S. government personnel and family members to leave Israel due to safety risks. Israeli citizens say they're always on heightened alert.
The safe place is always ready. We have water, we have emergency kit, we always have things that is ready over there in case.
All right, guys.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is expected to travel to Israel next week. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Secretary Rubio will be discussing a wide range of regional topics in Israel, including Iran, Lebanon, and the implementation of President Trump's peace plan for Gaza. Right now, some TSA members are heading to work as the DHS shutdown enters its third week. However, there is no end in sight as the Senate has not yet laid out a possible funding vote timeline. Currently, the Coast Guard, the TSA, the Secret Service, and FEMA are impacted by the shutdown. However, immigration operations are still running as normal due to $165 billion from President Trump's big, beautiful bill. One TSA union representative says TSA workers are one of the lowest paid federal government employees, and they are calling for lawmakers to meet on the issue.
We're going to do our job. Why can't you guys get along and do your job? Talk to each other. At least start the conversation. We don't need a promise of a paycheck. We need a paycheck. We can't go to the bank with a promise.
This comes on the heels of the longest shutdown in U.S. history, beginning in October and continuing for 43 days. Former President Bill Clinton testified that he did nothing wrong as he faced questions today from congressional lawmakers about his relationship with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Torian Small is on Capitol Hill with the latest.
A motorcade believed to be former President Bill Clinton's arrived at the Chappaqua Performing Arts Center Friday. Inside, he told the House Oversight Committee that he, quote, saw nothing and did nothing wrong in connection with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
President Clinton, as of right now, is cooperative and answering all of our questions.
In a prepared opening statement, Clinton said, as someone who grew up in a home with domestic abuse, not only would I not have flown on his plane if I had any inkling of what he was doing, I would have turned him in myself and led the call for justice for his crimes, not sweetheart deals.
This is the first time a former president was forced to testify before Congress under subpoena. This comes after he and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton were threatened with contempt charges.
No one's accusing anyone of any wrongdoing, but I think the American people have a lot of questions.
In his prepared remarks, the former president, who appears in multiple photos in the Epstein files, also slammed the committee for dragging his wife into the investigation. She testified Thursday.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein.
Democrats on the committee want President Trump to testify.
This is not a hoax. He has not been exonerated. And we have serious questions for President Trump.
There are also bipartisan calls to hear from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. A photo shows him in the blue shirt and several others on Epstein's island. Lutnick has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Torian Small, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
During a break in the hearing, committee chair James Comer came outside to note that during questioning, former President Clinton testified that he has never seen anything to make him think President Trump was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Coming up on Live at 4, Wisconsin is getting a piece of a $100 million settlement with Walmart. We'll tell you who that money will be going to. And if you're a parent struggling to find tickets for this weekend's state wrestling meet, we have some information about what you can do to get your seats. And after 4 decades of planning, a dream is becoming reality. We look at everything that went into making the Center for Black Excellence open and happen. And then your weekend plans might require a rain jacket or even a winter coat. Don't put it away just yet. Alex joins us with snow in the first warn forecast.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Welcome back to Live at 4, everybody, on this Friday afternoon. Brady is off tonight. The weekend is off to a very nice start. It is a sunny and warm day outside. Let's take a look outside. This is the look at State Street. Great day to take a stroll, do some shopping. But some big changes are on the way. This is winter in Wisconsin for you. 55 degrees today, and what will the high be tomorrow, Alex? In the 20s?
Upper 20s. I was looking closely, Susan, to see, is anybody wearing shorts on State Street right now?
Yeah.
What a contrast that would be. Shorts, and there might be someone walking in shorts tomorrow too on State Street as well, even though we're going to be in the 20s. And we'll change this whole spring scene here of 50s. Look at 63 right now in Janesville. Over to this as we head into Saturday. Snow breaking out in the morning, becoming widespread across southern Wisconsin as we head towards noon, and as we go into the afternoon and early evening hours, that snow will then eventually end once we get past about 6 o'clock or so in the evening. Accumulating snow of up to 4 inches north and west of the Dells has the First Warn Weather Team eyeing up alert day conditions for areas again north and west of Madison and mainly north and west of the Dells, where they have a winter weather advisory. And in fact, for areas off towards the north and towards the west, Crawford, Richland, Vernon, Juneau, and Adams counties from 6 a.m. on Saturday to 6 p.m. on Saturday. And it's this area that I'm circling here out north and west of Madison, north and west of the Dells, towards La Crosse, stands the better chance of seeing those snow totals of 3 or 4 inches. But when I come back here in just a little bit, I'm going to show you that sharp cutoff in snowfall. Just like that last weather system, there's going to be a difference of just a county-wide where they have snow to no snow, and I'll show you where that lines up when I come back in a little bit.
All right, Alex, thank you. We have an update first at 4:30 to a story we first brought you yesterday on Live at 4. Madison police now confirm that an 8-year-old student who was on their way to school yesterday was hit by a car near Orchard Ridge Elementary School. Crews were called to Toki Middle School and Orchard Ridge Elementary around 8:30 yesterday morning. The child was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The driver stayed on the scene and is cooperating with the investigation. They were not immediately ticketed. 2 people from Stoughton have died after a head-on crash in Lake County, Illinois. It happened around 8 yesterday morning. Police say a 51-year-old man driving an Acura drifted out of his lane and into the path of a semi-truck, causing a head-on collision. A minivan then hit the car. The driver and a 45-year-old passenger were pronounced dead at the scene. The minivan driver suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The semi-driver was not hurt. Walmart has agreed to a $100 million settlement over allegations that it misled delivery drivers about pay. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul says the company's Spark Driver program showed drivers one payment amount and then reduced their earnings after the work was accepted. Walmart was also accused of keeping portions of customer tips that were meant for drivers. Wisconsin drivers are expected to receive more than $600,000. It's going to be a very busy weekend in downtown Madison because the state wrestling tournament is at the Kohl Center this weekend. But some parents are raising concerns after tickets for the tournament sold out quickly. WIAA officials say the ticket process has been the same for more than a decade. Member schools get first access to buy tickets, as many as they need, in January, followed by about 6,000 annual ticket holders. General tickets went on sale February 10th before the boys qualifier on the 14th and the girls qualifier on the 20th. But the tickets sold out on February 23rd.
I was one of hundreds of people looking for tickets. So every time I posted that I was looking for tickets, I got 10 comments on my post also looking for tickets. Nobody had any for sale.
As a parent that has a senior, and in a situation like this, you never know when it's going to be their last opportunity.
Now, if you are a family member without tickets for the tournament, reach out to your wrestling coach and they can get tickets for you directly through the WIAA. The tournament got underway on Thursday and it runs through tomorrow. A new report from the Wisconsin Policy Forum shows the state tax burden fell to a new all-time low in 2023. For that fiscal year, state and local taxes declined to just under 10% of personal income. That's nearly 1 point below the national average, and experts say it could continue to drop.
If taxes stay the same while incomes continue to rise, then you could see a lowering in the tax burden. So whether state and local policymakers do that, like that is a possibility. It could continue to drop.
The report does point out that a continuing drop in tax rankings is unlikely, and that's due to school districts resorting to referendums to loosen state revenue limits, leading to an increase in local property taxes. A group of school districts, teachers, unions, parents, and students say the legislature has failed to adequately fund public schools. A lawsuit brought by Law Forward says the state is violating the Wisconsin Constitution's requirement that all children be provided with an equal opportunity for a sound, basic, and uniform education. This week on For the Record, political reporter Ellie LaLiberte got the reaction to those allegations from two leaders in the legislature.
Well, first of all, the entire idea of suing is preposterous. I mean, in the Constitution, we are the branch that is the one tasked with appropriating taxpayer dollars. This idea that somehow that the legislature is going to be forced by the courts to spend taxpayer dollars, it goes against the idea of everything the founders intended.
I'm pleased to see that the education community, of course, is organizing and pushing back on the state legislature and making clear that it is our responsibility to fund our public schools.
You can see the rest of Ellie's interviews with Representative Neubauer and Speaker Robin Vos this Sunday at 10:30 on For the Record. Students at UW-Madison's student radio station are celebrating tonight after a pivotal weekend. Tydriana Entry, our Badger Beat reporter, is here with the details.
WSUM UW-Madison Student Radio was awarded Best College Radio Station in the nation over the weekend. Students tell me that a lot of hard work went into this achievement. The station has about 200 members with a variety of programming options.
Every hour is basically filled outside of 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning. It truly is a student-run radio station. When you listen in, it's going to be extremely unique programming. Most student radio stations struggle to get 12-hour programming.
Everything is so organized and everyone supports each other so much. It's like you can feel that when you're here, we are the best, I think.
The freedom students have at WSUM is what they believe sets them apart.
It's also the creative aspect that we have. There's so much flexibility and independence that each student has.
The award was a surprise, perfect for the station's 24th anniversary. I was told that one of the students was sent to the ceremony was stuck in New York after his flight was canceled. Thankfully, he is now back in Wisconsin with their trophy.
Way to go, Badgers. Congratulations. Thank you, Ty. Next on Live at 4, a vision more than 40 years in the making is becoming a reality on Madison's South Side. We'll take you inside the new Center for Black Excellence and Culture and introduce you to the community leader whose dream is about to open its doors. And Alex is back with the weekend forecast. Snow and colder temperatures are settling in, and he'll look ahead into next week as well. Will we climb back into the 50s? He'll let us know.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
We're giving the weather satellite a spin. Ooh, look at the sun getting ready to set over Detroit, Michigan. This is a live picture. Their weather very similar to ours, 56 and sunny. And here's your fun fact. Most of us know that Detroit is called the Motor City because of its role in the automotive industry. But did you know it was the first city in the U.S. to pave a road? In 1909, Detroit laid concrete on Woodward Avenue, revolutionizing transportation in our country. A dream more than 4 decades in the making is now complete on Madison's South Side. Located on West Badger Road, the Center for Black Excellence and Culture is set to open in May. Kyrion Lee introduces us to the community leader behind the vision.
Dr. Alex G's vision is now coming to life at the Center for Black Excellence and Culture, located just steps away from Fountain of Life Church, where Dr. G has served as senior pastor for nearly 4 decades. What's inside the center is still mostly under wraps until grand opening day, when the community can experience it together.
And let joy be our hallmark.
The south side of Madison isn't just where Dr. G lives.
Heavenly Father, we are grateful this morning.
It's where he grew up.
I lived, played, delivered newspapers across the street. This community is a part of me.
The vision for the Center for Black Excellence and Culture began long before construction crews ever broke ground.
When I was a teenager, I had this sense, whether it's a premonition or some insight, that I was going to be part of something really powerful on the south side of Madison that would be on a hill that would get the attention of the full community.
And for decades, that premonition stayed with him.
Kept me from leaving Madison, though I tried many times before college, after college, but a sense that I was going to be part of something significant in the community caused me to stay here all these years.
In 2012, the land once home to a car wash was secured.
We started thinking about what would it look like to build a space that would help the Black community to flourish.
The public has seen these renderings of what the building would look like, but Dr. G says it doesn't compare to what you actually feel when walking inside.
I'm rendered speechless. I walk in this place, it feels like Christmas every day.
Inside the 37,500 square foot center will be theaters, art galleries, recording studios, classrooms, and intergenerational spaces designed to bring people from young to old together.
Oh my goodness, yes, yes.
But it's also about economic opportunity.
We will have space for innovation and leadership development where we will groom, mentor, train, and help to develop Black entrepreneurs and help Black artists turn their art into business, podcasts into business.
For Dr. G, this building represents something deeper than programming.
The mission is really to help the Black community in Wisconsin thrive by having a place that tells our story.
A story he says too often is reduced to struggle.
People think that Black culture is slavery and chains and survival and the transatlantic slave trade, but it's about innovation and it's about storytelling.
And the vision is already reaching far beyond Madison. Leaders from other cities are watching closely.
We're being pegged as a regional space for having conferences and gatherings and for convening people to talk about music, theology, culture, history.
And he says he hopes it sets a national standard.
We're living in a time where Black people and others are asking, will our history be documented? Will our accomplishments be documented? That makes spaces like the Center for Black Excellence in Culture even more important.
Thank you, Kyrian and Dr. G. The grand opening is set for Wednesday, May 6th with a ribbon cutting and community open house. And more details about that will be revealed in the weeks to come. Dr. G says the building itself is fully paid for, and now they're raising money for programming. Over to the Weather Center, a little weather whiplash this weekend. It is so nice outside this afternoon. When is the snow going to start, Alex, and when will it end?
Right. Starting at about 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, west of Madison, out towards southwest Wisconsin, as you see right behind me here. And then it quickly advances to the east across the rest of southern Wisconsin as we head towards noon. As we get a little bit later in the afternoon and evening, then it pushes off towards the east and towards the southeast, and then it's out of here. So it's about a 12-hour period of light snow. Some areas may pick up some moderate snow potential, especially for areas north and west of the Dells where alert day conditions could pile up just in the lower end of our alert day threshold of 3 or 4 inches, enough to cause some slick spots, certainly Saturday morning going on into Saturday afternoon. A general 1 to 3 across all of southern Wisconsin, perhaps an inch, maybe 2 here in Dane County. But then you go south into Lafayette, Green Rock, over towards Walworth counties, there may be an inch or less. So a very sharp cutoff to the south in this snow band, and we'll be keeping an eye on that. It's similar to that last weather event that we had, that there was a very sharp cutoff to no snow to snow. So keep that in mind if you're going to be traveling across southern Wisconsin tomorrow. Janesville, you might get a dusting to an inch. Madison, maybe an inch or 2. Then as you head up towards the Dells, they might have 3 or 4 inches of snow. So a big difference over southern Wisconsin. Once we get through Saturday, that's our day, well, Sunday too, of winter-like temperatures. Then look at the temperatures going all the way up into the upper 40s to the lower 50s. I even have thunderstorms in the forecast as we head a little bit later out into the 10-day period. And first, to let you know here, let's just take a quick peek going out even further into March. How about the middle of March for the better part of the east half, actually really the entire country, but for certainty, the east half of our country, a very, very high likelihood of above average temperatures. And this sort of a weather pattern means we're going to have access to Gulf moisture coming up into the Midwest and the upper Midwest, and a good chance for rain and even some thunderstorms. And you saw part of that at the tail end of the 10-day. And it looks like this weather pattern is going to stick around through the middle of March. And we need it, southern Wisconsin, because many areas are dealing with drought.
Winter's last gasp, potentially. We'll see, now that I just jinxed it. All right, Alex, thank you. Coming up after the break, we'll bring you the top stories of the day in the afternoon sprint. It's 4:53, time for the afternoon sprint. An update to a story we first brought you yesterday at 4. Madison police confirmed that an 8-year-old student who was on their way to school was hit by a car near Orchard Ridge Elementary School. The child was taken to the hospital with serious but not life-threatening injuries. 2 people from Stoughton are dead after a head-on crash in Lake County, Illinois. It happened around 8 yesterday morning. Authorities say a 51-year-old man drifted out of his lane and into the path of a semi-truck, causing a head-on collision. The car driver and a 45-year-old passenger were pronounced dead at the scene. Walmart has agreed to a $100 million settlement over allegations that it misled delivery drivers about pay. Walmart was also accused of keeping portions of customer tips that were meant for drivers. Wisconsin truck drivers are expected to receive more than $600,000. The state wrestling tournament is at the Kohl Center this weekend, but some parents are raising concern after the tickets for the tournament sold out quickly on Monday. If you're a family member without tickets, reach out to your wrestling coach who can work to get them directly through the WIAA.
And tracking accumulating snow on Saturday. We've been talking about this for a few days. 1 to 3 inches of snow overall expected in southern Wisconsin, but some areas just north and west of the Dells out towards Juneau and Adams, Marquette and Green Lake counties out over towards Crawford, Richland and Vernon counties. They could possibly pick upwards of 4 inches of snow where alert day conditions may pile up just a few more extra inches of snow where they have winter weather advisories in effect. And at 5, we're going to talk about the return of a warm and wet pattern.
Thank you, Alex. We'll take a brief look at what we're working on for 5 when we come back. Coming up at 5, public school supporters rally at the state capitol, sounding the alarm on years of underfunding and a budget that adds no new general aid. Parents, teachers, and the Wisconsin PTA are calling for urgent action. We'll have more. Country, measles cases are 6 times higher than what is normal for a whole year, where the nation and Wisconsin stand amid that outbreak. Thanks for watching Live at 4 on this Friday afternoon, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts right after this.